Alright, I don't got a whole lot of time and I don't know how to edit, so I'm just gonna do this while eating my meal and my drink. So I'm just gonna post this all. This is just my thoughts on the economy and, like, really anything that I think might, like, be, it might be a problem in the future. So let's get into this. Alright, everything wrong with the economy by the big dog. I, who is the big dog? That's me. I'm a college student, currently majored in accounting and marketing. I watch a lot of content regarding the economy. I also have taken macroeconomics, and I'm currently taking microeconomics. Let's get on to the next slide. Why am I making this? I woke up to a video that made comparisons to today's economy and the Great Depression. This is specifically by Atrioc. I'm wearing one of his like merch. But yeah, I saw it, and it made me kind of, at least, want to give my input. I'm also really bad at speaking in conversations, so I feel like this in general will just be easier for me to do. Please critique me. I probably don't know what I'm talking about fully. So in the comments or in any way, if you don't even want to comment, like DM me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram. Just critique me in some way. All right. Reason number one: politics. I'm not big into politics. I don't really care for debates. I think they go nowheres. Um, but Trump has done tariffs, which have done like jack shit. Um, he's also shown that he's willing to burn bridges for people who don't do anything that he likes. For example, he has gone on to eliminate the head guy at the BLS, which I don't really like the BLS. I think it's just a shitty like agency, but just because they downsized how many of the jobs that were shown, he he was mad about it and instantly tried to fire him, and then get someone else to then kind of show, hey, we actually do have a good amount of jobs. I don't like the BLS. I don't think in general they have a good like accuracy on how many jobs are produced, but this just shows that Trump is he doesn't like all the negative press, and he's willing to eliminate anybody who shows the negative press. All right, number two, social media. Um, Advertising's been around a long time. You know, TV's been around for a decently long time now. But social media has made these ads very intrusive. Like Instagram and YouTube, the ones that I use the most. YouTube, it's every like 6 videos I think I counted. There's usually one ad, and then Instagram, it was very like sporadic. Like when I first logged on, I saw one post, then an ad, then I scrolled through Reels, and then that was like there's an ad like after the my first scroll, but then like I wouldn't get an ad for like 20. So it's very sporadic on Instagram, but the general idea is that there's a lot of ads nowadays. But I feel like these ads in such quick succession will the average consumer is eventually just gonna like get locked in essentially and just buy whatever's given to them. Now I know this isn't everybody, but I feel like this is a very like scary spot for advertising to be, and I really hope it really doesn't like advertising doesn't increase essentially. AI stocks that are completely lagging in earnings per share, like they're in the negatives, are still growing like exponentially. Uh, I mean, recently the market's been a little iffy. I'm recording this on October 20th. I made this slideshow on October 17th. But yeah, earnings per shares for like all these different AI startups are almost completely negative at every single place, and but people still keep pumping into them because of the AI like mindset. The investors are they see AI and they are willing to dump as much money into it. Now, me personally, I think people should invest or do research before they invest into a company. Like, I have a friend who will invest into anything that I say I'm invested into. They know I do research, but you should still do your own in case, you know, my info is wrong or outdated, or if your friends try to do it, if their info is wrong and outdated. Number 4, gambling. Um, a majority of my generation, Gen Z, has a gambling addiction. Um, I can name a bunch of friends who are gambling constantly, either through like online gambling or they go straight to the casino. I think this is kind of built from like games in like the 2000s. Like, I used to be big into Madden, which has like a they have their pack system from Ultimate Team, which that it was kind of gambling, Counter Strike, big gambling scene. But overall, the the issue I have with gambling is people are very uninformed on like the risk. They see the max win and they just have like an ego that kind of like makes them like, yeah, I got this. I I think there's a lot of like misinformation. People don't know how much these casinos, rug pulling, day trading is very risky. If you like, all these have very massive risks and are even rigged in some ways. And I think people don't know enough about it. Like, I know casino people are starting to realize now, like especially like Mickey Mays coming up and him talking about like all the different ways, like there's a motor in the roulette table or something like that. But I still feel like crypto, I feel like a lot of people are they're not worried about getting rug pulled. I think they just see to the moon and then just dump as much as they can. All right, number 5, subscriptions. A lot of people have subscription services. I have subscription services. Um, I think people will see the initial like monthly, weekly, or yearly, or yeah, monthly or weekly payment, which is usually like 20, $30. It's kind of insignificant, but I don't think people recognize how much that builds up year to date. And then when people, it just makes it seem a lot more affordable than it actually is. Like, recently, Xbox increased their Game Pass to $30 with tax, which is over $360 a year. I think, me personally, I think people will see that $30 and they'll notice it, but and they see that, but they only think of that $30. They don't think of that 360 that people are paying at the end of the day. All right. Number 6, buy now pay later. I hate buy now pay later. Like Klarna, Affirm, was it Afterpay? Is that another one? I don't know. But it is just a reskin of a credit card. I'm pretty sure it affects your credit score. I've never used them. Um, it also makes a product seem a lot more affordable than it really is. I think people will see the split up value and be like, oh, I could do that. But then they don't realize they're paying interest. They don't realize they have to pay on time or else they get charged late fees. Which, if you do any of these, please pay on time. It will ruin you if you don't pay on time. And then number 7, substances. I did a little bit of research on this. I think the info I got was from like 2019 though, so I think it's at like 150 billion spent on like illegal drugs and shit. It First of all, don't do drugs. I'm very much against it. I don't do none of it. Um, but it will kill your financial health if you divide the amount of people in the U.S. by that 150 billion. It's almost $500 spent a year on illegal substances. This is not including alcohol, from what I know of. And it is very worrying that people are resorting to like these to kind of cope. I feel like it would be much better if you kind of wrote it down or found some other kind of like solution to kind of like go along and continue your day instead of like, I don't know, taking like a smoking some weed or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't do it at the end of the day. I have a lot of friends that do it. I tell them they shouldn't do it, but it's only my words. And then, why am I afraid of the future economy? Like I said, many people my age are consuming everything that I mentioned, which leads to a very unstable financial position. People aren't informed and will make bad decisions because they're not informed. They don't recognize that full price of the product, and overall, it just leaves people more financially stressed. And what should change? Call buy now and pay later credit. it There's no difference between the two. Klarna tries to make it look different, but it isn't. Ban online gambling internationally. It's easier said than done, but I feel like there's a lot more risks in the online gambling because it's such like a there's not a whole lot of information outside of just what's seen. Force companies to show yearly costs of like these products, aka subscription services. Like, I think people would be a lot more weary about getting Game Pass if they saw that $360. Get rid of the BLS. It's useless. I'm gonna be real. I think the reason why the stock market's so inflated is because people see that the jobs thing. They get excited. Um, yeah, it really is useless. They're not accurate at all. And please think critically before you consume. Do you really need that product? Uh, like I like the online gambling. This is easier said than done. Because at the end of the day, impulse purchases do happen. I'm someone who falls for impulse purchases. I think that's the end of the slideshow. So yeah, key points are just these. Please critique this. Like I don't even feel good about how I recorded this. I wish I, did a little bit more time into this. But this is my general understanding. Even with like the Trump stuff, please critique me on this. I don't know a lot about politics, so please critique me on the politics stuff. Um, yeah, that's about it. Didn't really eat my food, but overall, I don't like where the world is going in terms of economics. I think people are kind of too much all in on a lot of things when I think they should do a bit more like research. So yeah, that's about it. If you like this, subscribe, like the video, follow me on Twitch because I mostly do that, and DM me if you're an editor. It probably won't be a while until I get an editor because funds are low, but DM me if you're an editor and I'll get back to you when I think I can afford it. Anyways, see you.